All right. Well, I'll just start by introducing myself here. So, hi again, everyone. So, my name is Megan Weiss, and I am one of the senior judges helping to facilitate our session here today. So, I'll go ahead and go through the instructions for the 10-minute presentation, and then certainly want to give Luis an opportunity to introduce himself. We're going to start with, like I said, the 10-minute presentation. And in this scenario, you have been called back by the company you gave your full presentation to for a second visit. They have asked you to speak only about the ethical aspects of the problem and to explain why your solution successfully handles any ethical issues. You will have 10 minutes. There will be no Q&A afterwards. You don't use slides or video, and probably just want to have, 2 or 3 members of your team be doing the speaking, given that it's a pretty short amount of time, but I'm glad everyone else is listening in. That's great. So Luis, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Megan. Hi, team. My name is Luis Milan, and I work for Citibank. I have been with them for almost 21 years. So, and I hope they enjoy the presentation. 10 minutes, it's very short time, but I think it's enough. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to start my clock here in a minute, and then we'll turn it over to all of you. Okay, go ahead. Hey, Russell, I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Sorry. Okay. First, we would like to thank you for inviting us back to speak with you, the fishing community of Masinloc. We understand that for this session, you would like us to provide more clarity on the underlying reason for our recommendations to you. We hope that by the end of this recap, we will be able to persuade you of the pressing need for action. As you know, we have conducted site visits and interviews as checkpoints to have a better understanding of your community. After several iterations, you've helped shape our understanding of the situation, to which we've identified 3 overarching issues. The first is poverty. In your town, Masinloc, a coastal municipality in the province of Zambales, Philippines, 29% of your 50,000 population is dependent on marine resources. However, 16.8% of your fishing community subsists on less than $200 a month. The second problem is the environmental degradation, which exacerbated your current situation. Unsustainable fishing practices and pollutants led to the decline in your fish catch by as much as 23% over the past decade. And the third problem you face is that there is a lack of support from the larger society in your attempt to break the cycle of poverty. You are no competition against commercial fish pens, and venturing out into contested waters endangers you. Imagine Credo, your neighbor, your friend, a member of your fishing community. He learned fishing at the age of 11. He helped his father course the water at dawn, when the world was still silent. They were on their boat with a kerosene lamp and a fish net waiting to be submerged. He learned the rhythm of the sea from his father. 30 years later, he still follows his daily routine. Now married to Lusing and a father of 3, he relies on the skills he gratefully learned from his old man to feed his family and satisfy their needs. But unlike in the old days, fish catch has been less and less. Corporations are becoming more creative and powerful in fishing, something he can keep up with using his boat and physical strength. He attempts to sail out into richer waters far from home, but foreign entrants forcibly cast him out. With a meager income of $200 a month, how can he provide for his family? Food, water, and electricity have eaten up his budget. Credo needs to earn more, so he takes his children, Julio and Julieta, to help him bring food to the table. Education for the children, you ask? Healthcare for the whole family? A time to celebrate their hard work? These have never left his mind, but they remain distant dreams for now. The heart of the 3 issues is the violation of 3 ethical principles at the expense of a vulnerable sector. First issue is poverty. Subsisting on $200 a month trying to survive day by day, feeling helpless yet anxious for the welfare of your families, that is a violation of your right to a decent life, to truly live, not just to survive. Second is environmental degradation. Unsustainable fishing methods and pollution have wounded your sacred bond with the sea. It is your main source of food and livelihood. But the sea has not just fed you, it has sustained you, has formed your community, and has shaped your values as fisher folk. Environmental issues are a violation of the privilege to use, but not to abuse the sea. And the third is societal apathy. Lack of local support has made you vulnerable against commercial operators and foreign entrants. This is a violation of the communal and societal duty to support the interests of the marginalized. For a community to prosper, there is a need to go beyond transactional relationships. Currently, you fisher folks are needed only when they can make use of you. But the truth is, you feed people. You are important members of the municipality.
The main point that we wish to convey is that these problems are results of practices that deviate from universal truths. An ethical intervention is necessary, not just as a corrective action, but as a life-giving and restorative one. This three-headed problem thus merits a tripartite response. We made sure that our proposal to you is grounded on an ethical framework. We are guided by basic human rights, and we are aligned with the vision of your organization, the Bureau of Fisheries, and the local government of Zambales. The backbone of our recommendation for your fishing community is to form a cooperative called Sea Change, SEA Change. Working as a collective body, your cooperative will have three businesses: a milkfish farm, a seaweed farm, and an educational agritourism destination. These three businesses will operate as one integrated aquaculture system. These will collectively respond to all three of your pressing problems. Each of the three components would have a focus area for which it best addresses an ethical issue. The first component is that Sea Change Cooperative would have a milkfish farm. Operating a milkfish farm best addresses the problem of fisherfolk poverty because it creates a stable source of income for your families. In terms of financials, it is projected to contribute the biggest share to your revenues, accounting for over 90%. This is inspired by the Bureau of Fisheries' mission to improve the fisherfolk's life. Hence, we hope to garner the Bureau's support in changing the reality that fisherfolk live below the poverty line. Through the milkfish farm, we envision that you fisherfolk and your families would be lifted out of poverty. The second component is that Sea Change Cooperative would have a seaweed farm. In principle, aquatic resources should be preserved, yet the seas aren't protected from overfishing and pollutants. Given that seaweeds can naturally reduce fish farm waste by up to 30%, the implementation of an adjacent seaweed farm contributes to a healthier marine life by reinvigorating marine habitats and responsibly managing waste. The third component is that Sea Change Cooperative would have an agritourism destination, offering educational tours to 8th graders of the Zambales province. As mentioned, societal apathy for the interests of the marginalized has contributed to the fact that you fisherfolk are cast out from your own waters. Through educational agritourism, the young, the leaders of tomorrow, are educated and involved. This awareness of local situations communicates that a lasting solidarity with the fisherfolk community is vital to the larger society. In the end, we wish to leave you with a message of hope. Imagine Credo, your neighbor, your friend, and a member of your fishing community. Together with you, he has decided to join the Sea Change Cooperative. In the first year, he and his family make time to diligently participate in workshops and training courses. He learns that the best way to feed milkfish is on an alternate schedule to optimize fish feed and lessen fish waste. His family is amazed at the novelty of planting in the sea through seaweeds. They nurture seedlings, harvest the plants, and hang them to dry in the safety of their own homes. Through the cooperative, the collective produce is brought to local and international buyers. The family is also excited to share their livelihood with young, curious, and excited guests every month. Through the efforts of the cooperative in the first year, the household has earned $366, which is an increase of 83% from their base income. Because this income is expected to increase in the coming years, sending Julieta to school is no longer such a distant dream. She is filled with eager anticipation of joining the excursion next year, but as a student this time. There is peace for every unanticipated expense, such as for illnesses and emergencies. Now they can seek help from the provincial clinic and afford the medicine. The son, Julio, is no longer filled with the frustration of living a hard life in the province. He considers a future where he stays and continues what his father has started. Cardo and Lusing, even at the age of 42, are grateful for their decision to take action and see change within their lifetimes.
Social emergencies come with the word emerge. With Sea Change Cooperative, Cardo and Lusing were able to see the change, and so can you. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. This is Credo Consulting. Thank you for making us part of the solution.